guys, I am back. And remember, this portion of the lesson is me just showing you different styles of hair that hopefully one of them or some of them can relate to your hair. But you can also just remember to look in the mirror and sort of look at the overall shape of your head, including your hair, and that's going to help you draw the shape of your hair. But let's practice doing some different hairstyles. And you can see that I added sort of different faces on here just to kind of give you, different ideas. If you want your mouth to be like kind of a crooked smile, if you have, skinnier eyes or much wider eyes, if you want teeth showing or teeth not showing, those are just sort of different examples. So without hair, you're gonna look something like this, kind of bald, and then we're gonna go ahead and add some different styles. So let's do this together. And I'm gonna do this with my black marker. So let's say you're a boy and you have straight hair and it's a little bit short and kind of spiky a little bit. So that would look something kind of like this. It would go like above the head, the top headline. And it wouldn't stop there, but it would go to here, and that would just be the outer part of the head. And then to come in so that we see sort of the area that's closer to, your face, you would then come in and it might be something like that. You see what I did there? And then depending on what color it is, you could color it in with different colored markers using texture. So you can see how I'm kind of going quickly, small, quick strokes to create texture within the hair. So that's one style of boy hair. Let's say you are a girl and you have short hair with bangs, okay? So your bangs, if they come down your face, maybe they cover your eyebrows. So then those bangs might cover part of your eyebrows. They might not cover your eyebrows. That line there, you can determine how far down it goes. Does it cover part of your eyebrows or some of your eyebrows? And then your hair comes down. So we don't want to have it right here because this is sort of the top of the head without hair. So you bring it the line above and you can see, maybe your hair covers your ears on one side, and maybe on the other side it goes behind your ears. So then I would stop there and continue down here, and that would then be the bottom of your hair. And so this part here would be your bangs area. So I would come down and then start kind of curving around like that to create the bangs. And then the hair that is coming down from the back and then down the side of the head, I would go up and down like that. And since here it's behind the ear, I would go up and down, but I wouldn't go on the ear. So now you have hair with bangs. And again, you can use multiple different browns or add black depending on how dark your hair actually is. Let me quickly add a neck to these faces so you kind of get the idea of what's going to happen with a neck. So let's say you have curly light brown or blonde hair. So maybe it comes down over your face like this a little bit, and see how I'm doing those waves. And maybe it comes down here, and then up here it would be a little wavy. And again, we're going over the head and we're making sure that we're going higher than the actual head mark. And all I'm doing is these wavy lines, and I'm gonna kind of hide behind this head here because unfortunately I don't want to lose that head, so I have room to do that kind of hair. But you see how I'm just doing these wavy lines to create that curly kind of texture. And there we have a girl with curly hair. And let's say you want to do a boy that has straight short hair, and his hair, he's got some bangs that come down, but they're kind of like longer. Let's do longer boy hair, okay? So perhaps the overall shape of the hair, you know, comes like that. So it's kind of floppy, and you've got longer boy hair, or maybe it looks like a girl's hair. Girls have shorter hair too sometimes. And then on the forehead, going down towards your eyes, you might have some longer hair. And again, I'm just showing you sort of the outline of what it would look like without texture inside. But then from there, if you look in a mirror, you can see how the hair strands move, okay? So how do they lay on your head? How do they come down to your face? And then when you come down here, you start filling in, again, in the same direction that your hair is falling. You can sort of use your finger to create lines down your hair to show what your hair is doing, right? Yes, you can. Okay, let's do some cute, I'm not gonna do buns because I did that on my example already for you on the other video. So if you have hair that's doing that, you can do that. But let's do a bun on the top of the head. Or you know what, let's do ponytails, 2 side ponytails. Or 1 side ponytail on this side since I don't really have space on this side. Okay, so let's say you have bangs that come down on the front of your hair, on the front of your forehead. And so your bangs are doing that. And they go there, and so there's your bangs. Coming down your forehead. And then you have a ponytail to the side. So this is the hair that's coming towards the back to join the ponytail. And then here, coming from that ponytail, you have some hair that can swoop down like this. Now, if it's longer, you would just make it longer. If it's shorter, you would just make it shorter. If you wanted to do a ponytail on 2 sides, you would do the same thing on this side again. And there's your ponytail. So these are just examples of different hairstyles. And I hope that this helped you a little bit to see different styles of hair. So you can kind of play around with that. If none of these styles match your hair, hopefully this helped you at least to get started. But at the end of the day, boys and girls, you gotta look in the mirror or look at a photograph of yourself to help you first get, like, and I'm gonna show you with this black marker, the overall shape of your hair. Like, think about if you were to outline in a photo the overall shape of your hair, what would that overall shape look like? That's kind of how you start with hair. Okay, so moving on, I'm gonna spend the next few minutes showing you different kinds of lettering, and I'm gonna use a black marker, but I suggest you practice, I'm just gonna use random words that are descriptive, and I suggest that you practice this on like a separate piece of paper or in a sketchbook or something first until you decide kind of which words you're going to use and then what kind of styles of lettering you're going to do. So let's start with block lettering because I know kids love block lettering. So block lettering is going to look like actual blocks that look 3-dimensional. So for the word artist, for example, let's just say artist. So for the A, you would have a line at the top that comes horizontally and then 2 lines that come diagonally at the bottom, to the bottom, and then horizontal line with a space in the middle, and then you come up parallel, which is side by side using the same kind of line on the two sides there, and then another horizontal line there. So now you have the overall shape of a block letter A, and then you do a skinny triangle on the inside to create the letter A. Then you can do the angles to create the effect of 3D. So up here at the top, you would go diagonal and diagonal, and you would bring those two lines together with a horizontal. Then you do a parallel line that comes down here, but remember not to go too far, because down here you're going to want a diagonal line that matches this one and this one. And then you can bring this line down to make that diagonal. And then on this side of the A, on the inside here, you do another diagonal like that. So this diagonal line matches this diagonal line, matches this one, matches this one. Okay, so that is how we've done our A. Now we're gonna do our R. So I'm just gonna do the word art so I can show you lots of different stuff before we run out of time. And actually, let me see here something. I'm going to take away a little bit of the R. So you want the letter, when you first draw it, to not be as high as these extra parts that make it look three-dimensional. You want it to be as high as the top of the A. So it needs to be a little bit shorter. And then you come out. And you have to sort of imagine where this is going to go. And it would go there. It's going to go as low as there. And then you come up. And then down. And then bring it together, and then a little letter D on the inside to make the R window. Then we're going to do a diagonal, and then we're going to curve around the R till we get here. Then another diagonal. Then we come down, and another diagonal. So this diagonal matches this diagonal, matches this diagonal ideally, and then we do a diagonal here. So there's the word, there's AR. Now we're gonna do our T. So again, we want that T, the top of the T, to be the same as the top of the R and this top of the A. So here's my T. I'm gonna bring it down as low as my other letters go. Then I'm going to do a diagonal here, and a diagonal here, and a diagonal here. That comes together, this comes together. Then I'm going to come down, and a diagonal. Now I have block letter for the word art, okay? That's how you do blocks. As long as you remember that all your diagonals need to be on the same side, so on these, the block is showing on the right side, so all my diagonals are all on the right side, and they're all the same sort of type of angle, okay? Now we're gonna try bubble letters, okay? Now for the word art again, yeah, I'm just gonna use the word art, guys, okay? That way we can kind of go a little faster, and you can learn shorter words, but lots of different styles. And then you can make your own words based on these styles of lettering. Bubble letters are exactly what it sounds like, bubbles, right? So the letter A is going to be super round, and I'm going to bring it in. See how bubbly and round those shapes are? And there and there. See how I did that? And then on the inside, you do a little circle. Now let's do a lowercase r. So round, round, coming around, coming down again. Always think rounded, 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 okay? And then lowercase t, round, 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 and T. So the other thing to make it look more bubble-like is if you do this sort of comma style shape on the inside and you leave that white, however you color your letters in, you leave that part white and it's gonna look even more bubble-like. Let's do another style. I don't know what this style is called, but I really love this style of lettering. So I'm gonna do this for, let's see, let's just do the word art again. So this time I'm gonna do an angle and I'm gonna go like this and then come down. So it's starting a lot like the letter that we did up here for the block, but what's different is I'm gonna start here at this right upper corner and I'm gonna come down at an angle parallel to the other thing, and then I'm gonna do that, and then in here you can do this with just black and then add colors in between the black lines, or you can do this with actual colors. So then the R would be like this and like that. But then in here, you would do the parallel line, and then you would come in here and do your repeated horizontal lines. It's just kind of cool lettering. I don't know what it's called, but I really like it. Now for a T, you would do a stick up there, a horizontal stick, and then down here, you would make the wider T and you would do the repeated lines. And your lines can be close together or further apart. Further apart if you want to add color in between. And if you're gonna do black and then add color, you have to make sure your black marker doesn't run, so make sure it's a permanent marker. Let's try another style. We're gonna do one more and then I'm gonna go, okay? So let's do the word silly. And we're gonna do super skinny, tall letters. So there's an S, and then we're gonna do the I, super skinny and tall, and then the L, again, super skinny and tall, and then a super skinny, tall Y. So you see silly, and you know what, guys? I think I'll do one more with you, just one more. Let's do the word fun. So for this one, you can also do it skinny and tall, but not quite as skinny. And for the letters F, U, N, watch what I do. I go like this, and I turn some of my letters, parts of my letters, into skinny little triangles. See? So then for the U, you could do that. If you wanted to do it on the other side, you could also do that. For the N, you could come up. So do you see what I mean by skinny triangles? And then you could color that in or do stripes, whatever you want. Okay, it has now been 18.5 minutes learning lettering and learning different kinds of hair faces. Faces with different hairstyles. So I'm gonna stop now because now you've got 2 videos for this project, but you use them as needed, okay? You do not have to watch any video all the way through unless you need to, unless you want to. They're just there as resources for you. I would definitely make sure you watch the one where I'm walking you through the steps of how to create the face and the folding. And then after that, these others are resources to help you practice different things. I hope these help. I hope you have fun with this. I've probably made like 7 or 8 examples and had fun every single time that I do this. So I cannot wait to see what you do. And remember that for it to be complete, you've added color, you've decorated your mask, you've added doodles, you've added, some frames or extra designs around your words. You have a lot of variety and a lot of brightness happening, okay? All right, love you guys. Can't wait to see what you do. Pay attention to the due date, those of you that are virtual. The due date can be changed as I see fit. I haven't done this in person with my students yet, so I don't know how long it's going to take. But I would say at least 3 hours probably to complete this whole thing. So if I give you 3 weeks to do something, that's because it's taking 3 in-class hours to do something. So you take the time that you need, and even if it's late or if you finish early, it doesn't matter. Just submit it whenever it's done. Okay? Have fun and have a happy Halloween, because I'm doing this on Halloween Day. Have a great weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing what you guys submit. Bye, everybody.